Hey guys, good morning. How's it going? It's me, Melanie, and I make things. Today we're going to be making a candle. So I mentioned before that I have some stuff that I kind of need to get rid of. Well, not that I need to get rid of, but I wanted to use up the stuff that I have for making things. So I have these glass jars, probably about, I think 5 of them in another jar. And I'm going to use this to make some personalized candles as Christmas gifts. So once again, I didn't say this, but welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new and you've watched me before, welcome back and thank you for joining me again. So we're going to get started on this quick candle making journey, and I'm going to tell you what I used and what materials I used for everything. All right, thanks guys. All right guys, so here's what I have. I have the jar. This is a jar that I've had for a while. I cut out on my laser 2 circles. What I did is I measured the circumference, the top of the jar, as well as the inside of the jar. And what I'm going to do is glue those 2 together to make my lid. I may put a label on the lid, I'm not sure, but I'll keep you posted. I also made a warning label about the candle, so you know, burning the candle and so on. And then I made a label for the front of the camera, of the candle, and I'll zoom in on that later. I also purchased this candle from Walmart. It was like a $2 candle, and I melted it this morning. Basically in a pot of water, I melted it. And then I have some wicks. I purchased a wick from Amazon. Sorry, purchased wick from Amazon. So there it is with the label. Anyway, what I want to do is I'm probably going to go ahead. Let's put the label on the jar. And right now I don't have anything to hold the jar in place specifically, so I use those 2 lids. There's a seam running along the back of the jar, so I'm going to try and get it even in the front. I think I made this label, I'm calling the candle Winter Wonderland, and I'll get a close-up of that, but I made it 4 inches wide by 2 inches wide by 4 inches long, because that's the jar. Oh, I guess there's 2 seams. I didn't realize that, so because of that I don't want to do it on the seam. Turn the seams to the side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and label it first. Now I made this one, I'm making this one for my niece. I think it needs to go down just a little. All right. So I put my niece's name on the candle, and I probably could have made the label a little bit shorter. So it looks like it's a little big, but that's okay. We're going to work with what we have. Okay. Now for the candle, we want to take this, it's a wick sticker, and stick it right at the bottom of the glass. And then you take, there's another sticker to take off, and then you stick the wick onto that. So we're going to stick the wick onto that. Okay. And then there is a wick stem, which now I don't know where it is. So let me get that. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'll cut that and make it look like I already had it. But anyway, it's just a popsicle stick with a hole in it to keep the stem upright. Now as for the candle, the wax, I've already added a scent. In the aisle that had these candles, they had some little like scented oil deals, and I just poured that in the in the candle after I melted it. So once again, hot wax, guys, hot wax. Be very careful. I only purchased one candle, even though I want to make 3 total. So we're filling it up to the rim, and there's a little bit of wax left, and I'll use that on my next candle. So basically, that's it. That's me making the candle. So now I'm going to make the lid, okay, guys? I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to make the lid. So I poured the wax into my candle. I already have the label on it, and I'm going to glue what's going to be the top of the candle, my lid. I may make a sticker for it. I'm not sure. We'll see. This is wood glue. I actually cut these circles out on my laser. Basically, okay, so what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to use my hand to spread out the glue onto the label. You guys can see that. Okay, so I've done that. That's just the wood glue. But I'm also going to do some hot glue around the edge of the circle. As I said, I traced out a circle, and we're going to use some hot glue for that. And that's just to do a quick smush in place, okay? So basically a double circle is going to be the lid. And I have a line, a circle. Okay, and I'm going to get the rest of that hot glue off of there. Okay, so I think my measurement might have been a little bit off. But once that wax hardens, we can put this circle on there. And once again, I think that I may make a lid or a sticker for the lid. All right, guys, I'm going to come back after the candle has hardened. I'm going to cut the wick. I'm going to put the warning label on, which I should have done earlier. Should have put the warning label on earlier. And then we'll go from there. All right, guys. Okay, and I'm having my coffee this morning. So, just so you know, I bought this scented oil. It's watermelon scented oil from Walmart. And then this candle, it's a $2. It's called a magic candle. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, I got that. And when I melted it on the stove, so I filled a pot with water, put the candle, the solid candle in the water, filled it basically to the top. Once it melted, I added the oil, and it smells so good in here, guys. You can smell the watermelon. I named the candle Watermelon Wonderland. I was trying to do sort of like a winter wonderland theme. I've cut part of that wick down, if you see that. And then I made the label for the front of the jar. Made the warning label for the bottom of the jar, which I should have probably put on. I got the wick set. It was 60 wick stickers to stick the wick into the glass jar, 60 wicks, and 10 popsicle sticks to hold the wick in place. These are reusable, so you don't have to get rid of those. So I got that. I just cut it down a little, but to put on the lid, I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit more. So I'm going to make, I think I want to make a cover for this lid. So I'm going to come back with the cover. I'm going to use some vinyl sticker paper to make a cute little cover. So I made the label, and we're going to put it on the lid. And the candle is cooling, so that's going to be lovely. And as I said, you can really smell it. So I'm going to try and I did this cut by hand when I actually should have done it with my silhouette, but you know, I was being lazy. I didn't want to bring it out. Anyway, so let's, okay, so this is vinyl sticker paper and it's sticking. And let me move my coffee out of the way, guys. Got to get my wake up coffee this morning. Okay, so we're going to take off a little bit of the label, not the whole thing. Try and get it on here as best as possible. And then we're going to do the pull and roll. So I have my squeegee, and we're going to kind of pull and roll it off. Get it on there. It's not perfect, but it's good for what I need, right? It's pretty close. And if there's some on the edge, I'll just trim that off. So that's looking pretty good. It's a little bit around the edge. I'll trim off a little bit later. But so we have the candle lid with my niece's name on there. You guys can see that. And I'll do everything a little bit closer once the candle wax finishes hardening. And I'll show you the finish. Hey guys, so I'm super excited. I finally finished that candle. Let me show it to you. Okay, so here is the candle. And I have the label on there as well. It's called Watermelon Wonderland. I also put the warning label on there. And look guys, if I can take off this lid. There it is. There's the candle. It's kind of sinking in the middle because I keep moving it around. I may pour some more wax in there. But I put around the lid, I put a little bit of a hot glue to kind of give it a seal so you can press it in there and it doesn't open. But that's it, guys. It came out really, really good. It smells so good in here. My husband was like, oh gosh, I can smell watermelon, you know, as he walked in. But that's the homemade candle. And I hope that my niece likes it. I'm going to make a few of these. And I don't have to worry about them getting spoiled with finding out what I'm making, because I'm not sure if they actually check out the channel all the time. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I really do. Please like, subscribe, comment if you have any comments. As I said, I'm making videos trying to use up all the stuff I have. I've done some shirts, and I'll do that video next. I might have done a short. You might have seen a little short of me doing some of the shirts. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day.